Hopefully here in the next 3 hours that we're together, an hour and a half for me, an hour and a half for Coach Tressel, everybody in the room gets something, right? That's the whole idea. That's the reason we come to these is to get something. And I'm not, hopefully not arrogant in any facet, but not arrogant enough to think that I'm going to stand up here and wow you for an hour and a half and give you everything. But hopefully there's something in here in what I'm talking about and what Coach Tressel hits on that you can take with you, and whether it's for your own personal well-being or for your program or for a position group or whatever that may be within your program, that where we can get better, because that's the idea behind all of this. I really want to challenge you in this time to ask questions. I don't really like to hear myself talk all the time. So these things become a lot better when they're interactive. When you stop me, really, I don't have a problem with it. Fire questions away, even if you feel like it might be a little off topic. I don't mind that, and hopefully we have a little time at the end to ask a few questions, because this is just one of speeches that we have to give and presentations that we have to give, but there's a lot of other things behind this that hopefully could help you in one facet or another. I've been fortunate in this profession to be around some really good quarterback coaches. Had the likes to play for and work with Norm Chow. Had the opportunity to work with Norv Turner, who's now with the Chargers. Had a guy who mentored me from El Camino Junior College, John Featherstone, down in Southern California. Had an opportunity to play for Lavelle Edwards. And then along that line of time, and then in coaching, I've had the opportunity to be around some pretty good quarterbacks, whether it was Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, Matt Castle, John David Booty, Mark Sanchez, now Jake Locker. We've got a couple pretty good young ones in our program now that in time, as we've gone through this thing, we've developed a real sense and a real philosophy of what we believe the position is, at least in our program. So I'd like to hit on that first, and then get into 4 past concepts that we really rely on in every game plan, and how we get to those concepts and the way we structure to get to those concepts, I think is really important. So I'm going to start here with our philosophy from the quarterback position, and then get into some real tangible concepts that carry over, and we'll get them installed, and then we'll look at them here on film so we can see it all collectively. So the first and foremost thing, we're talking quarterback play at the University of Washington. We've got to be a leader on and off the football field, and that obviously encompasses a lot, right? Leadership, that could be a 4-day-long summit if we really wanted to. But the idea from a leadership perspective is the quarterback, in our opinion, has got to be the hardest working player, not only on the football field, not only off the football field, in the classroom, in the community. This is a 24/7 job, right? This isn't just about throwing curl routes and slant routes. This is about embracing the University of Washington, being a great ambassador for the University of Washington, and ultimately being that guy in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left in the ball game of a tight game that can lead us down the field, that his teammates can entrust is going to get it done. To us, in a nutshell, that's being a leader. He's got to be a tremendous competitor. The best competitor on our team. Doesn't settle for second place. I don't care if it's ping pong, pool, horse, whatever it is, throwing at the crossbar after practice. This guy can't stand to lose. He competes at everything. When we're in winter conditioning and we're running any of our 8-play drives or gassers, whatever it is, and they're going through the bags, he's in the front of the line and he's beating every guy that lines up across from him. Doesn't matter who he is. His preparation is unparalleled. It's unparalleled. This guy, he's early, he's alert. We have a really simple rule, and I know this might sound corny to some guys, but we don't let our quarterbacks step into our building unless they've showered every day. And you got to remember, we deal with 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, right? They roll out of bed, and God knows what they did the night before. I try to know, but I don't know everything they're doing, okay? But a real simple rule, they got to shower before they come in and meet with us, whether it's on game day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because that means you're up, you're awake, you're alert, you're ready to go for the day, and not just kind of stumbling, trying to rub in your eyes and just to get going. Obviously, you have to know all of your assignments, and you got to be willing to spend the extra time it takes to be a champion, okay? A lot of guys are talented, but do they really have the mindset to be a champion? And that's the whole idea here. And then ultimately, there's what we refer to as an attitude check. the ability for a quarterback to embrace new things, new ideas, new concepts. You know, in our opinion, change is inevitable. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. And for that quarterback's ability to embrace new ideas, to be willing to try new things, to do different things, I think is important. He's got to be coachable, and he's got to have the ability to respect himself as well as respect his teammates. And that's taking care of your body. That's the things you're doing at night. That's the things you're doing to get your sleep, okay, what you're putting in your body to respect yourself and ultimately respect your teammates and the time and effort and the work ethic that they're putting into this thing to make this a special opportunity for everybody involved. When it comes to toughness, we refer to mental toughness first when you're talking about a quarterback. We'll get to the physical aspect of it here in a minute. But the mental toughness aspect from the quarterback position is critical. He's got to be able to handle success, right? And he's also got to be able to handle adversity or failures. Because we don't know, just with all of our players, adversity is going to strike. It's going to hit your football team every year. And you don't know what shape, form, color, size that this thing's going to hit you with. Your quarterback's got to be a rock, man. Whether he throws 4 picks or 4 touchdowns, whether his mom's sick, whatever that may be, he's struggling in the class, his girlfriend dumps him, all the stuff that goes on in these guys' lives day in and day out. We all deal with the same stuff. He's got to be a rock, but we've got to continually talk to it. And we've got to get rid of the woe is me mentality and get to what we're going to do about it and where we're headed as a program. I think that's critical for us. And then ultimately, physically, you're always there. You're always there. It's simple, right? Pain or injury. If it's pain, your quarterback's playing. Injury's injury, and he still might be playing, right? You know, we were dealing with a deal this year with our guy, Jake Locker, had 2 broken ribs. And really, you know, he adopted this mentality. He's a tough guy, played 3 ball games with 2 broken ribs, and finally I held him out. I said, Jake, you're not doing it. We sat him for a game, came back, and ultimately we went on a pretty good run there at the end of the year with a much more healthy Jake Locker. But that's the mentality you want that guy to have. Man, he wants to be there for his teammates, for his coaches. He loves the game. So that physical and mental toughness side of it is huge for us. It's safe to say they got to be a junkie. There's a lot of talented guys, right? A lot of guys can throw the football 60, 70 yards, can throw it through a wall. They run 4.5, 4.6, whatever it is. But do they really, really work at this deal? Are they really studying? Do they have the mindset, I can always do more? I can always do more. Let me take the 3rd string tight end and work stick routes for 10 minutes after practice because he might be in Saturday if our starter rolls an anchor. And I just want to make sure that if he's in and we call it on 3rd and 3 in the 4th quarter, he knows exactly what I'm looking for and exactly how I want it. The work ethic and the consistency, is that really you? That's the question we ask these guys. Is it really you? Is it innate in you? If not, we'll try to instill it in you. But that's the question, the consistency, because ultimately the great ones are. You look at Tom Brady, you look at Peyton Manning, right? You look at Aaron Rodgers. Those guys bust there 24/7, 365. Nothing's more important. It really isn't. It's who they are. And so that's the goal. That's what we're looking for in the recruiting process. But then when we get them, that's what we're trying to develop into these guys. In my humble opinion, of all the things we've talked about so far, number 7 is really the most important. After all the other stuff we're talking about, number 7 is the most important. Does he exude confidence and energy? Because as much as I want to be in that huddle on Saturday afternoon, okay, whether we're at SC or at Oregon or playing Stanford or in Lincoln, Nebraska, wherever we're going next year, right? I don't get to be in that huddle. And does my guy, whoever it is, we got a couple guys, young guys, I think are going to be pretty good. One of them is going to win the starting job. When they step into that huddle, it's easy on the first play to call that play with energy and confidence, right? But in the 3rd quarter, if we're down by 13 and we've had a couple 3-and-outs in a row, can he still bring it? That's the biggest challenge of them all. Can he still bring it after throwing a pick in the end zone that costs us 7 points, that now we're still down by 13? Does he have that mental makeup? That's the challenge. Because ultimately, you got to give those other 10 guys that are in the huddle with you and the other 100 that are standing on the sidelines, and then the coaching staff, and then the fans, something to believe in. And it doesn't change. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Everybody's looking at that guy. He's the one, two. There's two guys on the field that touch the ball every play, right? The center and the quarterback. Center doesn't get to do much with it. The quarterback, man, he's got the ball. And as much as we might watch the right tackle or the wide receiver corner matchup or the safety location, the majority of people follow the ball, right? So they're looking and staring at that guy every snap, and he's got to exude confidence. He's got to bring the energy. Even if he's got to fake it for a series to get his mind right, that's what we got to get to, okay? Be excited about the opportunity to play because it's contagious. When you're confident and when you're energetic and you're upbeat and you're alive, it'll spread throughout the huddle. It'll spread the rest of your football team. And then ultimately, if you can get to that point, you get to enjoy what you do. It's the best position in sports because this is the ultimate team game, right? It's the ultimate team game. On any given snap, we've got 22 guys lined up doing completely different things. All 22 guys could use a different technique, different footwork, different scheme. 22 guys on every snap. It's the ultimate team game, and this is the ultimate leader in the ultimate team game that rallies the team so that nothing, in my opinion, is more important than number 7. When we talk about football, taking care of the football is crucial, right? Ball security, the exchange, the handoffs. We have a little term, dog claw, buzzword, just as a reminder. In the passing game, the decision-making, the ability to get to the point to where it's okay to throw the football away, right? It's the hardest thing for quarterbacks to really believe in and to do. Throw the ball away, okay? Live to fight another day. 2nd and 10's okay. It's a hell of a lot better, man, than 1st and 10 for the other team on your 20-yard line, okay? Master of the special situations within the game. Understanding down and distance. Master the 2-minute drill, the 4-minute drill. Red zone. The mentality for us in the red zone is simple from the quarterback perspective. Touchdown or check down mentality. It's touchdown. The touchdown's not there. It's check down. We're not trying to go through a bunch of reads and have a bunch of different options. It's touchdown or check down. Understand the objectives of backed up, of short yardage, of goal line. What's the objective of the special situation? Okay, and always know the clock. Our theory is this. The game of football, right? The game of football, all 4 quarters, is really made up of special situations within the game. And it's not just the quarterback position, it's our entire football team recognizing and understanding the special situation we're in, what we like to do within that special situation, and what our opponent's tendencies are and what they like to do within that special situation. And when we can get our quarterback really understand that, again, that'll spread throughout your football team, especially on offense, and you'll have a much more aware, much more alert, much more confident football team when you're within these special situations, and these are just some of them that we're talking about here. Obviously, controlling the huddle, which we've talked about here briefly, and how you present the play, in our opinion, determines the success of the play, right? I don't care if we're running I Write 13 Bob on color. You call it like we're going to win the freaking Super Bowl with this play. You look at your left guard because you know he's got a huge double team block here on the nose. You look at your fullback right in the eye, and you let them know this is what we're doing. We're running right behind you. The emphasis within the play call. And you can coach these things. You can coach the things that need to be coached within the play. If you're using a hard count and you've got a right tackle who has a tendency to jump off sides, you can remind your quarterback when you're saying, hey, we're going hard 3, you give him a little point to that right guard. Hey, we're going hard 3 right here. Because he's the guy that needs it. The rest of them are going to hear it. But the emphasis within the play calls is critical for us. Tempo, in and out of the huddle, okay, so that we can maximize our opportunities. We don't like running bad football plays. So we have the ability in our system to audible, to get out of things, to change protections, to signal routes to our wideouts. Well, it's hard to do if you're scrambling, you're just getting to the line of scrimmage with not much time, okay? So our quarterback's got to be able to have the ability to get us in and out of the huddle to fix things within the huddle, right? We might have a receiver split that's wrong. He's got to get it fixed. We might have the wrong personnel grouping on the field. He's got to fix it because ultimately he's the coach on the field. I want to be out there, but they don't let me. I'm trying to get that fixed, but they don't let me yet. So someday maybe they'll let a coach in the huddle. I'll be the first guy out there, okay, Coach Dressel? You don't mind? You'll be right there too. You'll be right there too. I see you out there. And then understanding defenses, which I think is something that not only helps our guys now, but helps them in their future as they move into their future and ultimately of achieving one of their dreams in life of playing in the National Football League. You better know defenses. You better be able to identify fronts and coverages and how they mesh. If a team's an over-front defense, and that's when they're playing their cover 4, their cover 6, their cover 2, and then all of a sudden in your film study, when they're in an underfront, guys, this is when a lot of their pressures come or their zone pressures come. You better be able to recognize the difference. You better be able to talk about what's a shade, what's a 3 technique, things of that nature. You better be able to talk about defensive end stance and things. So you got to know defense so that you know what the weaknesses are and how to exploit those defenses. It's one thing to know what cover 2 is or what cover 4 or 3 deep or man free or zero blitz, whatever it is. That's easy to know. Well, what are the issues? Where are they vulnerable so that your quarterback can play fast? Right? He's got to know, man, if I'm running flanker drive with a glance route and it's zero coverage, this is when I want to alert my glance. Right? Not versus cover 2. Shoot, my glance is dead. I'm back to flanker drive. Okay, so those are the issues that we're talking about here when we're understanding defenses, okay, and how to exploit them. And then ultimately, you better know when pressure's coming, what are the keys, and then where are the soft spots and how you're vulnerable within your own protections, and also in the run game, whether we want to run away from the pressure or into the pressure, depending on the type of pressure that we're getting there that week. In the pass game, and I'm going to rip through this stuff just because it's just some philosophical stuff for us, and whether there's something here or not, that's fine. Incompletions are okay. As always, we touched on avoid interceptions, and then a rule on our football team, all sacks lay on the quarterback. The rules now are set up, you can throw the ball away. It's not that hard, man. It's really not that hard. A quarterback takes a sack, that's on him. I mean, it's just too easy to throw the football away, and I'm amazed at the sacks that get taken, and not only on our team, but in college football, in the NFL, at every level. It's the hardest thing to do for a quarterback to throw the ball away. But they let them do it for free. It's not even hard to do, so we're still working at that. Understanding the objective of the play, which I think is another critical notion here, okay? Especially in dealing with young quarterbacks like we're going to be heading into this spring with and into fall camp. What's the objective of the play? Is it an efficient play? Are we running a stick route for a 6-yard gain? Okay? Or are we trying to throw a deep post off a flood route where we're working long to short? What's the objective of the play? And we really classify the plays into 2 plays. It's an efficient play or an explosive play. Not that all explosives need to be forced down the field. If it's not there, remember, we work through our progression or we throw the ball away, we don't take sacks. But what's the objective of the play? And on the other side of it is, if it's an efficient play, that means we don't throw the bus ticket takeoff on stick route, even if it's bump man-to-man. If I want to do that, I'll call another play to attack that coverage. But I'm trying to get a first down on 3rd and 4, right? I'm trying to, after a run for no yards on first down, I got 2nd 10 or 2nd 11. I'm trying to get us to 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, a winnable 3rd down situation. So understanding the objective of the play is critical for us as well. Obviously, you got to know where your hots are to handle the pressure. Okay, if you notice this, and this is something we talk about when you're looking at this, how often has Peyton Manning been hurt in his career? Huh? Tom Brady, one season had an ACL, guy rolled into him. The really, really good ones, they don't get hurt because they don't get hit. They know when pressure's coming. They understand their protections really, really well. They change the protections. They throw hot. They throw the ball away. They don't get hit. They're not scared. They're not wimps by any means. They're just really smart. Okay, they get it. Good pre-snap, post-snap reads. For us, how we recognize and how we pre-snap read, which is something that I think takes time. The natural thing for most quarterbacks, the first thing they're going to want to do is look long. They're going to want to find safeties. And a lot of people teach it that way. We don't. the first thing we do is look at the front. Because so many times the front is going to tell you what coverage they're playing. Right? We can go in and we're going to play SC, I don't know, whenever we play them this year. And the first time I put my hands under center and they're in an underfront, I know they don't play Tampa 2 out of an underfront. I can eliminate that coverage. Then now I can assess, okay, now is it cover 4? Is it a zone pressure? What might be coming? And that's just one example. So we start with the front, then we work our way through the backers into the secondary scan, find our keys through our film study that can help us. It might be a technique of the corner. It might be a technique of the mic, where he's aligned, things of that nature. But we start with the front. Especially in dealing with young quarterbacks, you got to trust your eyes. Trust your eyes. So many times you ask them, and for us, the easiest thing is, what did you see? Because the first thing he's going to tell you, I thought. No, you don't get to think, you get to see. God gave you 2 great eyes, man. You got beautiful vision. I know I tested you the first day you're on campus, man. You're 20/20. You see really well. Trust them. They don't lie to you. This is black. It's black. These are gray. It's gray. Okay? There's an empty seat. Okay, it's an empty seat. If you get him to that point to believe in what he sees, then we don't make things up. There's no I thoughts going on anymore. Okay? Be efficient with your reads and progressions. Get off primary and get to your secondary targets. Know where your checkdowns are. Know your alerts so that we can take advantage of our big play opportunities. And then a little camp rule for us, which I think is everybody should do this with arms now. We ice our throwing arm mandatory after every practice. Everyone. Our guys ice. Same way we tell our young guys to get in the cold tub, or our athletes to get in the cold tub. The quarterback should ice his arm every day. The thing's worth way too much money. Why not take care of it and preserve it for a long, long time? Okay, in the run game, it's important to understand, one, especially for us, because we're a mixture of a pro-style run game with some zone read concepts, that this is not a playoff, okay? You have to have the ability through film study to get us out of a bad play and into a good one, whether it's with an audible or a kill, whatever we might be doing. Get your block. We're a heavy zone football team, okay? So we've got to be able to control backside ends with our quarterbacks on nakeds and bootlegs, okay? You got to get your block, okay? Work off the clock. Be disciplined with your feet. When I say work off the clock, we refer to steps with our guys as 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in our steps, okay? So we got to work the clock, be disciplined with our feet. And our challenge constantly is to get the ball to the back with depth, okay? So that he can use his vision and understand where he's headed in the run game. Okay. Any questions just from a philosophical approach? Okay there? Good? Okay, I just want to give you something here, and I'm going to rip through this. I'm not going to take a long, long time with this, but I want to show you our daily warm-up progression here, okay? And whether there's something in here, everybody's got something, but I think it's important to not just play catch like you just play catch every day in the park and you're warming up. We've got a real sequencing of events that we do every single day. It's our EDDs, or everyday drills, and I'm just going to rip through it. Okay, so here we are, feet square apart. We're working hip rotation. We're working ball placement, okay? And constantly, okay? And it starts from the very beginning. We never just throw a football in practice. We are always working a target, whether it's forehead, 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 or forehead, shoulder, shoulder, or forehead, chest, forehead. It's constant, and that should be the talk always. What are we working on? What are we hitting on? So you can continually work accuracy, because a lot of times when the games come, pop up here, coach, for me. When the game comes and he's running this out route, and I'm the Mike backer right here on this tight end, I'm right here, man. But you know what? This is open. You know, this is open, and you've got to be able to put this ball a yard in front of his front number. That's how accuracy and accurate he has to be. So if you don't practice it, how do you expect him to do it when the time comes? So in all of these drills, we're constantly working targets. Okay? So this is not, this is not rocket science stuff here. Now we go feet shoulder width apart again, and again, we're just working our shoulder rotation to our right, as if we're throwing on the run to our right, getting our hip rotation done, and now to our left, okay? Now we get on to the one knee stuff. Again, just working release point, follow through. So much with these guys. What we're looking for in this drill here, guys, and I know this sounds not worldly here, but just something that if you can always find something. Sometimes you notice when quarterbacks are working the pocket and they're working shallow routes or check downs and they go to throw that ball here, they stop their arm. Their arm doesn't get extended. They stop their arm. The ball's not clean. They lose accuracy. So even when you get them on one knee here, the whole idea in this process is to make sure they get extended. Get extended through the follow-through and not get short, not stop their arm or they lose accuracy. That's really what throwing on one knee is about for us, is so that they're not worried about their feet. They're not worried. It's about continually working follow-through and extension in their release. Okay? And now we're just working a little touch drill, just again, working the release point, getting to the top of it, okay? Making sure our wrist's involved in the throw, okay? Then we go boom, we get right into a hot progression, working our hots, okay? The whole idea between this, and this isn't a very good one in my opinion by Jake, there should be better ones here. At the release of the ball, let me get to almost. At the release of the ball, I want him to be a pencil. I want his ass and elbow as high as I can get it, right? As high as I can get it. To the highest point we can get to, because this might be a 6'4" Sam Backer coming free, getting his hands up. So I want to be a pencil off my right foot or my throwing foot. It's as high as I can get it. It's like, who plays hoop? Anybody play hoop? You guys play basketball in here? If I'm taking the ball to the basket, right, and I got a 6'5" forward here, I got to get to my highest point, to my release point, to get it over his hands. The challenge is, most of the time when we're throwing hots, it could be to a tight end or a shallow cross, whatever that may be, as I get to this point and I release this sucker, okay, our goal is we got to get that ball numbers and lower to that receiver. And it might be a little 5'10" squirt shooting across here, right? So I got to get high, then I got to get that ball back down, because if I don't, inevitably, at some point, if that ball's up in here and I start flinching because here comes the mic, boom, where's the ball go? Straight up in the air, ball's intercepted, and we're all boo-hooing, hoo-hooing, and blaming the quarterback. Well, we don't know what happened, right? We'll figure it out. So that's the challenge of getting up to your highest point, being a pencil, getting that release point as high as you can. Work this thing to your right and then to your left as well, right? Retreating, getting tall. And this isn't, again, we're just warming up. This isn't a drill. This is our warm-up where our quarterbacks are getting their arms loose, getting their legs loose. This is pre-practice. Because I'll tell you why you want to do this in pre-practice. And I'm just guessing I'm going to go with 90% of the room. We're working on the run, okay? Work on the run nice and easy. Again, this is warm-up. Because what's going to happen in practice, you guys will get out to practice, okay? You'll get through your stretch. You might do your special teams. Boom, you go to individual. You're going to go throw routes. You're going to go throw routes with the receivers. Then you're going to jump into team, and then next thing you know, and then, God dang, he's not throwing very good on the run. Let's work it in post-practice. We'll help him in pre-practice. He's just warming up. Now you get a lot of your drill work done. We're not doing, if you notice, we're not doing a bunch of reset stuff and flush drills because they're not warm yet. We're just working all the little nuances of the game that hopefully add up over an accumulated time. We're working our one-step nows or quick hitches out here to our right and to our left. It's just warm up. Pretty simple. We're working a little flash fake, a little hitch, quick screen out here. Both ways. Work it both ways. Boom, we're done. He's warm. Now, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes before every start of every practice, we get with the centers religiously every day because we all get sick, right? The one time we fumble the snap. How did that happen? How could that possibly have happened? How do you fumble a snap? And what reminded me of, I was watching the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the New York Jets in the playoffs. I was watching Mark Sanchez play. And the kid from Florida, Pouncey, gets hurt, right? And in comes the backup center for the Steelers. And boom, sure enough, what is it, the second or third play he's in, fumbled snap. Then they hold the Jets, they get backed up, they're on their own 1 yard line, boom, the Steelers fumble another snap. So the whole idea in this sequence for us, yeah, it's to work with the starter, but it's to mix and match your quarterbacks with the centers. Because I don't know, it might be the third play of the game, we lose our starting center. And I don't want to be having that knot in my throat when I'm trying to call plays. It's already hard enough to call plays, right? Play callers, it's hard, especially when you can't get a first down. None of them look good and the headsets get silent, right? It's easy to call plays when you're up 21, man. You're rolling along. Shoot, everybody's got ideas then. Coach, run this, run that. Let me see that reverse. Shit. How about when you 4 straight 3-and-outs in Autzen Stadium, man? That place is going nuts. So this is the idea behind this drill. And with all of these, we're always calling a play. We're always calling, whether it's 13 boots. So the center's using his footwork, quarterback's using his action. And then you can work, the beauty of this is you can start to work your, in my opinion, the biggest lost art in this position, which is ball handling. Man, I think back to Boomer Esiason and Steve DeBerg, some of the best ball handlers in the sport, you know, of really working that stuff. You work your shotgun stuff, you can work your progressions. Okay, there's Seattle. It's raining there. Work your progression, you can work your feet, things of that nature. This doesn't take long, and you're not trying to do all of it. It's a 2-minute period, okay? And you can get, realistically, you can get upwards to 20 snaps in a 2-minute period. That's all you need. And then the next day you do it again, the next day you do it again, and I don't care if it's training camp, okay, or in season, we do it every day religiously because we get days like this with bad weather. Okay, we can work whatever new play passes we got going for the day or run game for the day. Your center's working his footwork. We get to do all the things we want to work on there. So that, to me, is one of the biggest values that we take advantage of in the pre-practice perspective of what's going on. We don't try to cram it in a 5-minute period and do everything. We do work our reset stuff and our flush drill stuff when the individual period comes about. But the pre-practice stuff, you can get a lot done, and they're fresh, they're alert. You don't get them at the end of 2.5 hours. Hey, let's go over here and work this drill. Man, they're out there, man. They're looking forward to taking their girlfriend to the movies at that point, you know. So you get them while they want to be there, and then you can take advantage of what's happening on that end. Any questions there? Cool? You guys are too easy, man. Guys in Atlantic City, a lot more questions, Coach. Just kidding. Okay, we're going to shift modes now. Let's talk about how we game plan, the way we game plan, what we do, and I'm gonna take this into really 4 pass concepts for us that are in every one of our game plans. It's just a matter of how they're in our game plan. And philosophically first, we are, at the University of Washington, we are a multi-personnel grouping, multi-formation grouping team that runs pass concepts to fit what you're giving us. So what does all that mean? If I want to run a play versus 3 deep, okay, a concept versus 3 deep, as I study the tape of you that week, I'm looking for the personnel grouping, the formation, the shift that could get you to play 3 deep coverage so I can run that pass concept. Am I clear there? So if I want to run, let's say, 4 verts out of 3x1 to get you in cover 3, I got to find a way to get to run 4 verts. It might have to be out of a 2x2 this week, out of a pair look with our 2 tight ends, out of 12 personnel. It might be when I go play Oregon State, the best way to get them in 3 deep is to be in 10 personnel or 4 wides, right? Out of 3x1. So it might be the next week when I go play SC, it's out of 22 personnel with 2 tights, 2 backs, and 1 wide out, and I shift to that formation. That's how we think, okay? I'm not stubborn enough to think that we just run what we run and we're good enough. We're not there yet. Hopefully someday we get there, but we're not there yet, right? So we got to be creative in how we game plan and what we do to make that happen. So that's how we think. So as we move through this, all of you probably run all 4 of these concepts that I'm going to present, okay? I'm just going to hopefully find one way in here. Hopefully on each one of these you find one new way to do this thing that makes sense to who you are, what you do, how you do it, to make this thing work the way we think we make it work. We don't run a million plays. We have concepts, and each week our guys know when we show up on Monday, this is how we're doing it this week, guys. And it makes sense to them. So we'll go through how we teach it, what makes sense, and how we do it. So the first concept is our stick concept. Okay? Not world-renowned. I'm going to teach you just kind of our fundamental approaches to what we teach and how we teach on it, okay? The primary read is the stick route runner. Right, Courtney? Courtney Anderson played for the Oakland Raiders, is now coaching at Contra Costa Junior College. I coached him for years. He's a great player. Local guy, Richmond High, Contra Costa, San Jose State, back coaching. It's pretty cool, man. It's fun, good to see you out here. So, why stick? You remember this, Courtney? Okay. Now, this is a 5-yard route, okay? And there's some real fundamentals here. We are working best release to preferred outside by the tight end. Best release to preferred outside, because I don't want to get jammed up down in here when I can't get back out of the route. So best release, preferred outside. This is a 5-yard route, okay? It is imperative to recognize man or zone. And when I say zone, meaning uncovered, because it could be a zone coverage and the Mike backer relates to me, we treat that as man in thinking of the route runner here, okay? So at 5 yards, he makes a real definitive decision. If anybody is attached to him at 5 yards, he runs out. Flat, possibly even losing ground. You don't want to get undercut. You don't give up too much depth, and all of a sudden you end up at 6 yards, and now you get undercut, and it's pick six, and everybody blames the quarterback again, right? So if anything, you want to lose ground, okay, and catch this thing at 4 yards. If no one is attached to you, you stick and stay right here at 5 yards, and it's a tight turn, okay? So if I'm running the route, boom, and I'm up to 5 yards, and I know it's zone, I stick, stay, and I throw my hands at the quarterback, because I'm just trying to give the quarterback as much information as I can. I'm telling the quarterback right now, I'm a stationary target. Now he can spot throw me, okay? Shoulder, shoulder, body, whatever he needs to, depending on what's near me. I'm giving him information. If I'm attached, I push up 5, bang, I run out, I give him my eyes, I do not give him my hands. He knows I'm a moving target now. And now that stick route runner can expect the ball a yard in front of my front number. That's where he's getting it, a yard in front of my front number. And if we can't be accurate on a little 5-yard out route, we're in trouble, okay? So we should be able to throw that ball a yard in front of my front number. The receiver, whoever you are, attached to the stick route runner is running what we refer to as an arrow route. Some of you might refer to as a flat route, whatever that may be. And this is a 2 to 3 yard arrow route, aiming 2 to 3 yards on the sidelines. Right now, I'm not pushing up, and you'll see some bad routes on this film. Trust me, we're not perfect, but I'm going boom right now, and I'm aiming 2 to 3 yards, chin over my downfield shoulder. I don't want to turn my whole body. I don't want to start backing up. Boom, it's chin over, and I'm expecting the ball, again, a yard in front of my front number. We teach the quarterback on this play. This is truly a simultaneous read. Okay, he's reading both of these at the same time, because in zone coverage, we need to manipulate that flat defender right there. If he wants to hang and take a vertical drop, we need to be prepared to throw that ball in the flat. If he's going to get width and take a horizontal drop and turn his shoulders, we need to be able to throw that ball right there to the stick route. Very clear, right? Pretty easy. Not world-renowned. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. But this is, in our opinion, an efficient football play. Can get us anywhere from 3 to 8 yards. We're not trying to get more. If we get more, that's gravy, okay? On the backside, anytime we call Y stick, Z stick, F stick, whoever the stick route runner is, anytime you're on the backside, it is an automatic slant route. In this case, we happen to be in a slot look, so it's double slants. Anytime, until you're told otherwise. Automatic. You hear Y stick, automatic double slant, or single slant if you're the single receiver. Now, well, how does he know when to go back to the slant as compared to working the stick route? Well, that's through the process of learning this thing. Anytime it's man-to-man, you have the freedom to go backside. Anytime it's one-on-one coverage, you have the freedom to go backside. Anytime it's a pressure look, okay, a blitz look, you have the freedom to go backside. Because in my opinion, the easiest pass to throw in football and the pass that can have potentially the biggest gains off of the easiest pass in football is the slant route. Okay, you go back to the 49ers, Bill Walsh, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, you even go to Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman, those guys. You throw slants, you break one tackle, you're a moving target, you're not a stationary target, you're on the move, and you can create really big plays off of throwing slant routes. So that's why we want to take advantage of it. Are slants great all the time? No. There's coverages, there's trap coverages, and there's 3 deep stuff where the windows can get hard. But if I know I'm getting man, if I know I'm getting pressure, whether it's a man or a zone pressure, I'm throwing double slants. I'm going to make you, or slant in general off the backside, I'm going to make you defend it. Okay? So it's pretty easy for the quarterback. The slant side is an alert. Okay? The front side of the play, the stick slide of the play, is the progression of the play. Now, we could run this out of a true 3-by-1 set, right? We can motion this thing over to a trip set. The stick route doesn't change here. 5 yards, stick and stay versus zone, run out versus man. We still have our arrow route 2 to 3 yards. The change is right here, right? If you are the third receiver on the stick route runner side, it is an automatic bus ticket. Okay? Automatic, mandatory outside release bus ticket. You got to go. Okay? You got to get out of here. Why do I need this guy to mandatory outside release? Anybody? Clear, right? If it's cover 2, cloud coverage right here, and I go inside, now this corner can funnel me inside, and now his eyes are on who coming right to him? That arrow route, right? And I need to protect this guy. So I'm going to get him to turn his hips and funnel me and push me out of bounds. So now I can create some space for my arrow route runner and then ultimately my stick route runner here, okay? Mandatory. That's learned. I don't call it. That's learned. Again, now we're in a 3-by-1 set. I still have a slant on the backside right here, okay? Singled up, man-free, man-free one-on-one matchup. I can always work that guy. We also incorporate the ability, at least in our system, for our quarterback to utilize signals to that guy. That guy's he's our guy, right? I mean, that's, go back to SC, that's Mike Williams, that's Dwayne Jarrett. For us, that's Jermaine Kearse. He's our guy. If you're going to play him one-on-one backside, you better be ready to cover fades and slants and we call them snaps, deep hitches, and all the different stuff. And the quarterback, for us, has the freedom to work those signals on the backside. Okay, so that route can change some, but if it's one-on-one, we're working there. There's a lot of other variations of this play, right? We can call double stick. Okay, we can get into the same little flank look that we were in up top, but now snug our receivers over here and run X and Y stick. Okay, so we're running double sticks to both sides. Quarterback's looking for best matchup. They're going to stay as a zone coverage team, especially a strong rotation team to our pair look over here, bringing the strong safety down here, playing corner high over the top, and I get a will backer out here with a corner over here. Shoot, that's easy, right? That's my 2 best guys against a linebacker in space. I'm going to work that side of it. So now I'm giving the quarterback a choice to work either side of this concept. Okay? Again, not world-renowned, but pretty simple concept for us. I can also call double stick, Y and Z stick. Okay? Instead of putting this guy here attached to the Y where he was running his arrow, now I'm running the stick route. And there's a real key thought to this play right here. This is developed and is really designed for one coverage, and that's cover 2, especially Tampa 2. Okay? Because in Tampa 2, this Mike backer right here is responsible to do what? He's really a middle third player, correct? And then they got this corner here rerouting your number 1 over the top with a strong safety high over the top. And this Sam backer sitting right here is in a nice controlled back pedal right there. And he's staring right at my quarterback. Okay? And what they want you to do is have this little Z run his little arrow route, and so the corner can cover him, and this Sam can squeeze this Y right here and take him away. Well, now I'm going to work you over in this little voided area. I'm not going to run to your corner. It's zone, so I'm going to do what right there? Stick and stay, right? And it's zone to my Y. I'm going to push up, stick and stay, and now I'm going to work over that Sam linebacker right there. Okay? Again, this is an efficient play. I got a lot of other plays to go attack you down the sidelines or down the middle of the field to try to hit 40-yard plays. I'm trying to get a completion here, right? Trying to get a completion. Well, shoot, that's all great and all, coach, but what if it's 3 deep, right? It's not a very good play versus 3 deep. If they sky this strong safety, he sits over my Z right here. My Sam's on my Y. So now I tag an R arrow on the backside. So if I'm running Y and Z stick, R arrow, my X already knows he has a slant backside, right? I haven't told him anything different. So now I got an R arrow on the backside. So now I'm going to work over your weak flat defender. I'm going to throw slant arrow or slant flat, however you guys call it. And so it's easy. Quarterback, 2 high, you're working double stick. Single high, you're working slant arrow. Not hard, right? Not that hard. So there's a lot of variations of this play to make this thing work and to take advantage of it. And we can shift in motion. And remember, I can do this out of a lot of personnel groupings. This guy out here might be our fullback that weighs 250 pounds. I don't care. Leave your corner out there. If you don't cover him, I'm going to throw it to him. Okay? Might be a tight end stand out there. Might be a 3rd wide receiver. Might be a 2nd tailback. I don't know. Remember, I'm just looking for ways where you're going to play Tampa 2 so I can get a completion on 2nd and 4, 1st down, and keep a drive alive. Does that make sense? It's the way we think. I can run all stick. Okay? All stick. So I might get in a slot trips look here with my tight end backside, with my F, Z, X, and run all stick here to take advantage of zone pressure teams here that are voided underneath. Motion my back out. Again, bus ticket, clear him, clear here. And now I'm just playing catch with the best matchup right there, okay? Great versus zone pressure teams because they're voided and underneath defender, right? Teams that try to rush 5 and play 3 under, 3 deep coverage, they're voided underneath. It's a great way to get completions right there. And then lastly, I can line up an empty and do the same deal here at the bottom. So I can get an empty, run all stick again. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, again, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I'm clearing out on the outside. Pretty easy look for us. A lot of times what we do in empty, see our running back out here. Okay, it's a great man zone read for us by putting a running back or a fullback on the outside, guys. It cleans up the picture for you. It should give you a real idea of what's happening for your quarterback. But also, if you got a little speed demon burner running back and a team tries to play man-to-man coverage against you and you put them outside and all of a sudden that big lunker Mike linebacker has to go out there and cover him, that's a big alert for us to take that shot to throw a go route to that guy. It's the best matchup you can get, right? It's the quickest way to score is on a fade. The percentages aren't great, but it's the quickest way to score. So if you get the matchup you want to take advantage of it. Okay? So let's take a look at a few of these here on film so you guys know that I'm not lying, that we don't really run these plays. We run this stuff. Okay? So here we go. This is also a big audible for us. You're seeing us use it as an audible here, okay, versus field zone pressure stuff. So here we are in our pair look, okay? You'll see the stick with the arrow. But again, we love throwing slants versus zone pressure. Here's the first look at it. We read our double slants, in case you know or if you don't, doesn't matter. We read our double slants inside out, okay? We start with the inside receiver. If you wall him, we will take the outside receiver. If you don't, we're going to complete this ball every time. Okay? I think it's a real fallacy that you need to have your inside receiver on the ball to throw double slants. Everybody says that. But ultimately, you look at the point when he goes to release the football right here, there's plenty window for number 1 and number 2, and the quarterback can see that just fine, okay? Everybody says number 1's got to be on the ball. I don't believe that. Okay? Good look right there. We can shift to this, okay? Now we're in a 2 tailback set. That's another tailback here with a tight end. We just switch the alignment here, the tight end and the fullback. Boom, play catch. They don't cover the flat route. Keep playing catch with it. Could have easily thrown the inside slant here. Okay, yard in front of his front number. Again, pressure look. Pressure look. Do not be afraid to throw slant routes. Good look here. Okay, nice job. Here we are now. We're in a spread look, okay? And we're calling X stick here into the boundary, okay? Out of 4 wides. Again, now he's not attached to our stick route runner. He's outside, so automatic clear. And then again, double slants on the backside. Good look. Great look at a stick and stay right here. Really good look at sticking and staying right here. Boom, tight turn, put the ball right on him. Excellent job. Again, double slants on the backside. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. Okay, now we'll motion. We'll motion to this. Now here's something that's really key. I don't know if you guys see a bunch of cover 4 or not, or zone pressure, kind of a squatty soft 4 where they're trying to read it. This is a great way to attack cover 4 with a cross motion with the receiver, because this Sam backer all of a sudden gets taxed really quickly. And if you got a real speed guy right here, you can beat the Sam backer in the flat, and it's an easy play catch with this guy. He doesn't think it's going to happen quite as fast as it does. You play catch. Okay? And then one other little coaching note on your bus ticket route, guys. The receiver down here at the bottom, remember, he's not involved in the read, right? He's not involved in the read. The read is for the arrow and the stick. So what we teach that guy, as you come off, you're clearing out, versus bail corners, versus soft read corners. As you come off, when you see that corner react, his body's moving, what is that telling you? The ball's getting thrown, right? Right now, you break down and you block. You become a blocker. There's no point in turning and looking to try to find the ball. He's already telling you, he's giving you the information the ball's been thrown. When his feet stop and he breaks down, you break down, you become a blocker, okay? And again, I know that sounds like coach talk, and yeah, it sounds good in the meeting room. Well, here it is. Boom. Here it is, right at the bottom. Boom, break down, get a block, okay? Frees up one less hitter, we get a touchdown out of a deal. Out of the play that was designed to be just an efficient play, we end up turning that sucker in a 50-yard game because we had an unselfish player decide to block a wideout, okay, when he felt that ball get thrown. Pretty cool look. Okay, here we go. Here's the double stick look we were talking about. Again, simultaneous read, flat defender. Okay, they're staying in man coverage. Boom, play catch, throw the ball out in the flat. It's 2nd and 11 right here. Play catch with this guy. Just give me a winnable third down opportunity. Now we go from 2nd and 11 to 3rd and 4. I'll take it. Okay, gain of 7. Throwing a flat route. Efficient passing game. Good look. Okay, again, another double stick look. We're at 1st and 15 here. 1st and 15, jumped off sides. Pullman's rocking. Okay, play catch. Boom, gain of 7. Okay, here we go. 2nd, 8. Now we can start moving here a little bit. Okay, we show a little empty look here. Motion back in. Okay, again, a little too high look. Okay, attached, run out of it, attached, run out of it, a yard in front of his front number, nice job. 2nd and 9, get a completion. Good look, get me to 3rd and 2. Nice job. Okay, here we go, motion out into empty, running all stick. Again, really good versus zone pressure teams. Getting a 5-man zone pressure, we get them a little screwed up. I don't know if it's exactly what we're trying to get, but we catch them in cloud coverage. Hard to relate. Play catch with the guy. Nice job. Same play. Now we're just doing out of a 2 tight end set here. Okay, instead of with the 3 wides, we got 2 tight end set. Same play. They relate. Treat that like man. Even though it's cover 4, treat it like man and run out of it. Nice job. Okay, we can get in our pair look here out of slot, motion the back out. He becomes the bus ticket runner now. Clear it. Okay, go outside. Where's he wrong? He goes inside. Got to go outside. We're not perfect. It's a whole different route. We got a different route deal going on up top, little option route. Okay, now we're going to get into running our stick routes, okay, with the slant arrow on the back side. Okay, as it relates to 3 deep coverage. There's the flat defender. Now, we know our sticks aren't great up top. They're not bad here. It's not a great matchup for us up top. So we like to work the slant arrow on the back side, okay, and work over the flat defender. There's a good look right here. Not a great drop, probably by 20. We're a little late with the ball, but it all works out. Okay, there's one there. Here's another one here. Zone pressure, this is another great concept versus zone pressure. If you're getting a bunch of these drop ends, making this drop end have to play pass defense here, okay? So you work this slant arrow, okay, play catch. He wants to get depth, the vertical drop, play catch in the flat. Again, now we just got a little different pair look here, okay, out of base personnel, a little different way to run the same play. Same thing, same play here. Now we get it versus cover 4, okay? Stay strong side, don't come back, especially with the low free safety, play catch right there. This is 22 personnel, okay? Now we get a free safety skying in weak. Now we're going to keep it strong, play catch in the flat, really well done. Again, you're seeing this is our fullback out here running this bus ticket. He sees the corner react, trying to break down and get a block, doesn't quite get it done. Should go to the safety, quit looking back at the ball. Good look. Okay, a couple more here. Same thing, now we're in 4 wides, running the same play. Okay, weak side rotation, stay strong, nice job. Okay, we can hop motion to this. Start our back on one side, rock them to the other. Again, probably could have worked his stick route here to the field. Works the slant arrow on the backside. Pretty good look. Okay, we can do this thing out of a bunch empty, run the stick to the field with a little spacing down here at the bottom. Again, second long type play. Very well done with the receiver running it versus man, run out of it. Good look. Okay, any questions there? Go ahead.
Coach, so you said so just go through the quarterback's progression when he comes to the line of scrimmage. He's looking front and then coverage, and this is he finding the flat defender, or?
Well, depending on what he's deemed the coverage to be, right? As he comes to the line of scrimmage, okay, and boom, it's over front, okay? I got a too high look. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, they are a tendency to play more too high out of an over front than they would if they're an under. So right now, my slants aren't as big of an issue. Now I'm getting to work my stick slide. Who's the flat defender? Is there a potential for cloud coverage? Okay, there is a potential. I got to know that corner could be a factor, okay? So now as I come out, now I'm reading that zone flat defender. If, as I'm going through my cadence, as the ball snap, it's pressure, it's saw dog 0, it's whatever it might be, now my focus can go right back to my slants because I know those routes never change, and now I can work my double slants. And so you're getting your keys to hopefully get through it, and the idea is these guys are making millisecond decisions that we talk for hours and hours and hours on, right? But you got to train them to get to that point. Cool? Good? Okay, let's go next concept. One that is really fun for us. We call it short post or post. It's been around for years. This is a big, let's start it right here. This is the most traditional way. This was a big Los Angeles Rams, Henry Ellard, Ernie Zampese play that carried itself to the Dallas Cowboys, and I ended up getting this thing from Norv in Oakland. It's a great play to give you a little variety. It's different than just throwing a slant route. There's some nuances to the play that hopefully we can talk through that makes sense to everybody here. So the idea is we call it short post. We've tagged the route as a shake route just because it makes more sense to our guys. They hear post in their mind. They're thinking down the field. This is a shake route for us. We tag the shake route runner. So this is Z shake or Z post. Okay? Wherever he is, and we'll talk more about multiple formations here in a minute. The Z's route. The first thing that you know about us, we're not a big counting steps route running team because I hate watching our young guys plod through the route trying to figure out, okay, this is my second outside step. Now I get to make a left-hand turn. I want them to run the route because when the games come, I don't know if they're getting bumped, if it's off, if it's a backer head up that blitzes, now they're working a release, and now I don't want them worrying about it. Okay, we try to get to yard markers. So he's running this route. He's trying to get to 4 yards here. Sorry, my pen's not great. He's trying to get to 4 yards. But he's attacking the outside shoulder of the near defender to him. Does that make sense? So if I'm in the slot, and there's the strong safety skying down here, and the ball's inside, I'm coming off and I'm attacking your outside shoulder. I'm trying to create some width. Okay, I'm trying to create some width. When I hit the 4 to 5 yard range, depending on what type of release I had to use, if it was bump, if it was off, a blitz came, whatever it may be, I'm going to violently cross his face. Violently. Key word. With your hands, with your release, with this whatever, with speed, violently. And the whole point, once you cross his face, is to stay high. I don't want to run to the next defender. This is not an angle route, okay? This thing really could even have a dotted line right here, even of a higher angle. I want to slip inside of that defender with violence because I don't want to run to the next defender right in here who can knock me out, right? I want to create a nice window for my quarterback, okay? It is important to know on this play. In the playbook, it says that the tight end is the hot. We train the quarterback. He really can throw this shake route as a hot as well. The drop for the quarterback in this play is a quick 5, no hitch, be firm, be ready to deliver the ball. If you're in the gun, it's a quick 3. Be ready to throw the ball. It's not a whole lot different than the slant route outside of the wide departure factor that takes place here. Okay? So you can treat it like a hot, and we can throw that ball to this guy, and he can beat a blitzer by dealing that ball. He's got to have a big heart and some courage, right? He's got to stand in there. Somebody's coming. Okay? Big heart with some courage. Okay? But you can make plays throwing that ball there, even to the hot, to the shake route, okay? Pretty easy read. You never go over the top. You don't get to pitter-patter your feet. It's 4 to 5 yards, attacking the outside shoulder. Be violent, crossing his face, and stay high. The receiver, this time, in this instance, it happens to be the Y, that is inside of the shake route runner. You're running a grab shallow. Not just a shallow, a grab shallow. And you're going to step on the toes of the first defender, head up to inside of you. You're going to step on his toes, you're going to let him smell your breath, and then you're going to run a shallow cross. Okay? Step on his toes, have him smell your breath, and then run a shallow cross. If you got bad breath, make sure you still step on his toes. You know what I mean? The idea is I want to capture this linebacker right here to create a window to throw that route right there. The shake route is the primary route. Once you've done that, in this instance, Y, now you're running a grab shallow. You are second in the progression for the quarterback. You're number 2. Okay? And you do have the freedom to throttle this route down once you clear the backside tackle box. We don't ever come to a complete stop on this route, but you do have the ability to throttle it down to get friendly for the quarterback, whatever term you use for that, okay? You're number 2, running back. You're checking will to scan. You're number 3 on the swing. Now, the initial way for this play was designed that this route back here was a comeback at 15 yards. In college football, it doesn't work. Our hashes, it doesn't work very good. It gets too crowded, too jumbled over there, too tight. So, dealing with young quarterbacks, we've eliminated that thing. You're a bus ticket, clear. Just get out of there. Okay, so it's one less thing for us to worry about. So it's a 1, 2, 3 read. Pretty simple read for us, but it can create some real big plays for you because, again, you're catching the ball on the move. It's not a stationary target. You're catching it on the move. If you're lined outside of the shake route runner, automatic bus ticket. Okay, I know a lot of guys run other routes out there. Hey, I just want our quarterbacks to play fast, man. It's a 1, 2, 3 read, not there, attack the B gap and go, or throw the ball away. We can do this thing out of multiple formations again as well. We can motion to a 2-by-2 route right here, and it really align the shake route runner inside the Y and run the same thing. Nothing doesn't change, right? 1, 2, check 3 to swing. We got slot on the backside, clear out. Clear out. Okay, get out of there. We can run this sucker from the backfield right here with our running back. Really cool play versus cover 4, right? Cool play versus cover 4, because in cover 4, the mic relates to who? Number 3, right? Which happens to be the Y right here. Well, now I'm trying to grab that mic and run this shake route from the backfield with my running back. Okay? And we'll throw a smash route over here just to kind of clean up the picture to get him out of the way. Okay? Pretty simple. The coaching point. Anytime you run a shake route from the backfield, whether it's a running back or a receiver, we'll do it with the receiver here. You'll see it on film here in a minute. You don't get to make that cut to the post until you've crossed the line of scrimmage. So many times they're going to want to do it too fast. You got to cross the line of scrimmage, preferably 2 yards downfield before you make that cut. Okay? Pretty cool way of doing it. We can switch release it right here, like you're seeing there. No big deal out of an empty look. Pretty cool. Okay? But one way that we've kind of gotten to doing more of, which I think has been pretty cool, is doing it out of a bunch look, especially versus teams that like to play man-to-man, and you get in bunch, and they try to in and out your bunch, okay? Meaning, they'll put somebody on your point right here, and they'll put a corner whoever out here and another defender inside here. And this guy's locked on your Y. You got me so far? You with me? He's locked on the Y. The Y, it's best release to preferred outside. Get out of there. I really don't want you coming in here and muddling this thing up. Outside release and get out of here and go to the corner. Okay? Get going, get gone, see ya. Now our grab shallow is coming from the Z here. Okay, if you're in and out me, this defender's got him, right? Now, if I'm this corner, here I come. So many people run spacing or snag or different things right there. That corner's just sitting and waiting, right? Sitting and waiting. Here comes my flat route. This is easy. And bam, you cross his face with violence right here. This is a big-ass play. Great versus two-man. Great versus man-to-man, even thief or robber stuff, because that guy gets hung up looking at that grab shallow right there. So it's a good little change-up for us out of bunch. Has been a good play for us. The one thing we have done to this play is put a really kind of a smash concept on the backside so that if we do catch man-to-man coverage here and we get it matched up where this X receiver, remember that's our stud in our offense. If we ever get him matched up on a free safety in man coverage, this is a big alert to us right here. We alert that corner out. Even versus pressure, it's a retreat, lay the corner out versus man-to-man. We think that's the best matchup we can get for that given play. All right, our receiver on a safety covering him man-to-man. And then, obviously, we can motion this thing in empty and whatnot. So let's take a look at a few of these and see if it makes sense here on film, maybe more so than it did on the overhead. Okay, so we're in a split back look, right? Well, the reality of it is this guy right here is a wide receiver. Okay, just a little wrinkle, new way of running this sucker. Okay, we'll motion down into what might look like a bunch look. Okay, zone pressure, there it is. Great look here. Attack his outside shoulder. Get him to widen, right? Get him to widen. Get him to widen, get him to widen. Boom, now snap it, cross his face. Great look at it. I need to recruit faster guys, Coach Trussell. We got to score a touchdown right here. I don't want to have to call another play. Got to call another play now. Supposed to score. My hands are up. Oh, okay. Here we go. First and goal from the 8. Okay, great look. Boom, cross his face. Good look at it. Now, technically, oh, no, we're good here protection-wise. There's another one coming up. Good look. Okay, pretty clean. Another way. This is a tight end out here. Receiver, running back. This is our receiver in the backfield right here. Again, we were trying to get a zone pressure look, which we got. Trying to get this end to expand out and throw this shake route off of the defensive end, which is what we get. Unfortunately, you missed the throw, but this is the idea. Again, so much is going on with zone pressures now. You got to make these guys defend pass routes, not just let them get off scot-free buzzing out on the routes. It's too bad. Okay, here we go. Out of the 2-by-2 look with the 2 receivers on the backside, great look right here. Really good look at the grab shallow, right? Get up on his toes. Just freeze this guy for a second. Boom, stick it in that window. Don't be late, man. Quick 5, stick it. Quit jumping at the top of your drop. Check swing. This is an efficient type play on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. You're getting man coverage. It's a great man beater. I got to be honest with you. It's not a great play versus 3 deep coverage, okay? So make sure you got some 3 deep beaters in your back pocket if that's what you're getting. Okay, we can motion over, starting to slot trips. Motion over here to a tight split with your Z. Okay, running the same thing. Boom. Again, looking for zone pressure. Defensive end widens out on the motion. Make him defend the play. Good look right there. Okay, first down. Nice job. See it from the back, might give you a little better picture. Grab shallow, get up on his toes. Good look. Numbers and lower with the throw, man. Okay, traditional way, a little cross motion, get a man zone read. Okay, again, potentially, this really should be a hot, right? O-line, 4 down to Mike with a possible duel to the Sam. They duel it. Back is checking Will to scan. They got one too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no hitch. Spit the ball out, play catch. Nice job. Attack his outside shoulder, violently cross face. Come as flat as need be, right? He can't keep it as high as he wants to. Keep it flat as need be to make sure he crosses face. Nice job right there. First down. Good look. Okay, same play. Now we just cross motion to it. Here it is again. It's really a hot, quick 5, spit it out. Okay, big heart, lot of courage, play catch. Nice job. Just keep catching and run, man. You don't have to fall down. Okay, pretty good look right there. So you can use this thing as a hot. It does work. Okay, here we go. This is our Z receiver here. We bump out to empty. Okay, end up getting a linebacker defending our receiver in man-to-man coverage here. Good look at it. Okay, play catch, nice job. First down, third down conversion. So again, we're running a lot of the same plays, just at a lot of different formations, personnel groupings to run the same stuff. Again, this is really a hot. Our tackle's trying to take 2, not very good technique, but it slows him down enough so we can get the ball off. Okay, now we're into the bunch stuff here. Okay, good look at bunch. Okay, clear out here on the corner. Pretty effective play here versus kind of a cover soft 2 or 6 look here. There's that window right there in bunch. Nice job on the grab shallow with their wideouts. This is a slot trip bunch with the tight end on a corner to clear on the backside. Good look. This is 3rd and 12. We're throwing the sucker first down conversion. Again, moving targets. Love moving targets. We don't like stationary. Really shouldn't be hitching here, right? Should be a quick 3, be firm. Okay, another way, just a little something from practice to show you can motion to this same play that we just ran to hide it. So if you want to carry it twice in a game plan for us, okay, great look. Great look. It's important in zone that the quarterback, okay, real quick coaching point for the quarterback here. In zone coverage, that he keeps his eyes in front of the shake route runner, that he doesn't stare at the shake route runner. Because you don't know if that Mike backer doesn't get bought by the Y and can slide underneath it. You don't know that they're not running a 3-deep buzz coverage with the strong safety buzzing in there into that voided area. So once he recognizes zone, trust the fact that this shake route runner right here, okay, that he's going to beat whoever the flat defender is. He'll get in here. You make sure you take care of this area right here in zone coverage with your eyes. Okay, I don't know why we're taking a 3-step drop, but here's another look out of it in bunch. Sticks it in that window. Okay, he should, I don't know, he's taking through the hitch. We should be taking 5. Okay, sticking that thing in the window. Again, just freezes the mic for a second to create that window. Here's the same play, motioning to bunch. This is actually with a second tailback on the field, okay? Again, we're just trying to find man coverage. Here's a great look, okay? So we go from a stack look to bunch. Okay, boom. There it is. Press the bunch, in and out the bunch right here versus in 2-man coverage. Boom, there's the window for that sucker right there. Got to give him a ball. Make him work so hard. Okay, see it here. Get him in a bunch look, play catch with it right there. Nice job. Okay, we can run the same play out of a bunch empty like we talked about, right? With a smash route over here, he got a little spooked about pressure, gave him a signal for a slant just in case. Okay, but here it is out of the same thing, same formation, playing catch again. Nice job on the grab shallow, freezing these guys, sticking that ball in that window. First down, 3rd and 5 play. Okay, and again, just so you guys know I'm not making stuff up. Okay, here it is versus blitz 0, man-to-man, free safety on the corner route. Just lay it. Nice job. Nice job. I know he's unblocked. You're in the gun. Just retreat. Lay it. Really well done. Anytime we get a free safety on our X, we got to make our plays. Really well done. We okay there? Cool? Everybody got that? Okay, let's move on. We got to get jamming here. We're getting a little short on time. Liking football too much. Okay, we're going to talk about drive route here, which, again, I don't think we're reinventing the wheel here. Everybody runs this concept. I can tell you this just from a coaching perspective. Why are we running the play? Okay? And how we teach the play. We're obviously looking for man coverage, right? That's why you run drive routes. You're looking for man coverage. You're trying to get guys on the move, crossing routes, getting your players in space, running to green grass, things of that nature, right? Well, the idea is that's great and all, but what happens if it's not? And what variations can you run off this play to where you don't lose the integrity of the play and your quarterback doesn't have to think about a million different things and still stay consistent to who you are and what you're about? So real simple. I'm not going to go through every little nuance of this thing, but we tag a drive route runner. Okay? Drive route runner. In a perfect world, I want him in a really, depending on who we're playing, because it depends if we have backer force or not, and I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But I want this guy in between a 4 and 6 yard split if he's a stationary target, okay, a stationary receiver. 4 to 6 yards. 4 yards if I'm playing an over front defense with the backers off the ball. 6 yards if I'm playing an under front defense with a backer force on my tight end. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. So 4 to 6 yard split, and you're running a 4 to 6 yard drive route here. Okay? With the freedom to hook up in the backside tackle box, okay? And the same rules apply. When you're hooking up, throw your hands at the quarterback. That tells him you're a stationary target, okay? That doesn't mean he has to hook up. That means he has the freedom to versus zone coverage. If there's zone defenders, he may sit down there. If not, he's running 4 to 6 yards, taking this thing across the field. Okay? If it's man and he's bump man, better be ready to stair step that thing at 3 to 4 yards and then escape and run away. Okay? It can be zone. And as I'm coming through here on the zone and this flat defender gets his back turned and is running out of here, and I have green grass in front of me, I can still stay on the move. It's a real simple rule. As I come through on my drive route, okay, I'm coming through, I've got green grass, I'm looking, I'm booking. I look back at the quarterback, even though it's zone, even though it's green grass, if I'm looking back at you on the move, quarterback, if I'm looking, I'm booking, I'm staying on the move. Next snap, we might run another drive route on the next play, I don't know. And as I'm coming through, it's zone. But where that table is the weak hook defender, right, or the weak flat defender. There he is. Boom, sit down. Give him my eyes, give him my hands. Okay? I can't pull this move, though, on the quarterback, right? I can't come, I can't look at him, and then try to stop again. Shoot, he's already thinking it's zone coverage. He's throwing that ball. Does that make sense? So you got to make it really definitive for the quarterback and give him information on what he's doing. Because for the quarterback's perspective, this drop for the quarterback is a 7-step drop, okay, if we're under center. 7 steps drop right here. If it's man, it's easy. I can look at my drive route runner. I can stare at him, right? But if it's zone, what he's taught is to take 7. Once he recognizes zone, my eyes are now into the drive route vicinity. I'm reading the coverage just like my drive route runner is. When he gets into my vision, he's going to give me his cue on what he's doing. So I don't have time to be staring back at you the whole time and then try to figure out what's going on. It's zone, my eyes are out in front. Now you got to give me the decision that you're making when you get over there in zone. It is imperative on the backside of all drive routes, you are running a bus ticket whether you're in the slot or on the outside until told otherwise. It's automatic clear out. It is mandatory that you outside release whether you're in the slot or on the outside because I want these defenders here and here to turn their backs because I want to create as much space as I can for this drive route runner. It's his play. I want him to get the ball. If he's covered, which could happen, whether it's in zone, whether it's a man, could be a robber technique or something, whatever it might be. If he's covered, now I get to my secondary read, which is my arc basic, okay? Mandatory outside release to best release. But I want him outside. I want to arc this thing to create a natural rub route, okay? Arc it right here to create a natural rub route right here for my drive route coming underneath to pick off that corner in man coverage. Arc it, okay? Arc it. That's why if I'm a receiver, whether it's with short motion or in pre-snap alignment, if I've got backer force, if this is my tight end and I've got a Sam backer sitting over my tight end, now I'm running this arc basic at 12 yards. If it's zone, I'm sitting in that first window. If that first window's not there, I'm going to come through. There should be another notch right here. I'm going to get to the second window, and I'm looking to get friendly for the quarterback. As I get to 12 and it's zone and I turn in here and I'm free, I can stay right there. But once I turn in and I'm going to the second window, we never come to a complete stop in the second window. We get friendly for the quarterback in the second window, okay? We just throttle, we get a feel. If it's man, now I push to 12, I escape, I chicken wing, I do all those little tricks that guys do, and I separate and I run away, and I do not drift. I do not drift. I catch this ball at 12 yards or less. I don't catch it at 14, 15, 16. That's when you get undercut and intercepted. That's when you get your helmet knocked off, all the bad stuff that happens, right? Running back, you're on a 2x2 check down. That's 2 yards up the field, 2 yards from the tight end, okay? 2x2 check down. You turn in, you hook in, okay? So I'm going 2x2, I turn and I hook in, face the quarterback, give him my hands. If it's man-to-man coverage, you now push to your 2x2 and you run out. So the quarterback again gets information. If you're attached, you run out. If it's zone, you hook in. The quarterback, there's never any doubt. We already know what he's doing. I can anticipate the throw. Is that clear? A lot of variations of this thing. We can attach a glance on the back, on the front side of this thing. So I got a drive with a basic, with a glance, with a big alert right here, right, versus cover 0 or 3D. Nothing changes on the play. It's still 1, 2, 3 with an alert. I can run a drive smash concept over here with an alert here versus if I like my matchup on a free safety again, but my read doesn't change. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then the last thing you can do, we refer to as drive box, which is bring over X right here, okay? Drive box. And I know a lot of people read this thing differently. I can tell you how we do, whether you like it or not, but this is just what we do. The read doesn't change for the quarterback, okay? We have a drive route runner. His read, everything is the same. He's 1. We have a basic route runner. He's 2. All we're doing is taking our X and replacing that 2x2 check down by the running back and bringing him on a shallow cross. He becomes 3. Really simple. Nice little triangle for the quarterback right here to read. Now we just check our back and swing him weak. He's out of it. Nothing changes. We just tag it drive box, bring over X. 1, 2, 3. We can do it out of empty, same thing. Drive route is 1. Basic route is 2. Box route is 3. Same triangle right there you have there as you have right here with the back and the drive route runner running it. Okay, so I know there's a lot of variations. Some guys run curl flat on the other side or different things. Man, we don't change for this quarterback. I want him playing fast, efficient football, knowing what to do with the ball, no matter what's coming, how it's coming, what might happen to him, okay? So let's peek at a few of them here. Take a look, see what this sucker looks like. The idea is the drive box is just another cool way, okay? The drive route runner doesn't change his route, okay? But the box route runner can create some space by rubbing shoulders with that drive route runner to create some space. Okay, so here's a good look at it versus zone. Okay, probably made too quick of a decision here, right? Because we get this defender here to turn his back. It just takes him a little while. We end up with some green grass. Because when you look at it from the back, remember, when can he hook up? The backside tackle box. He's hooking up over the ball, so he really shouldn't hook up till here. He's a little quick with it, but it works out because it is a true zone look for him. Nice job of the quarterback. Zone, eyes in front, boom, nice job, play catch. Get vertical. One thing, a little quick coaching point here as well. when it's zone and they hook up, remind your receivers when they catch the ball, get vertical, okay? Don't turn a 3-yard completion into a 2 or a 1-yard completion. Get vertical. If you get 6, you get 6. If you get 10, you get 10. If you get 12, you get 12. But get vertical, okay? Don't dance and start going sideways. Okay, here it is with short motion, non-backer force. Okay, really good zone blitz beater when you're bringing the drive route from the field, because so many times, I don't know what we're doing. This doesn't seem like very sound defense. But we're bringing a little field Sam strong safety. What happens is this guy has to carry these seam routes, and there's a lot of green grass over here. So here's a great look versus zone, and even though it's zone, he stays on the move, gives him his eyes. If he's looking, he's booking. Sorry for all the markings on the field. The Seahawks practice at our place a couple times a year, so get all these markings everywhere. Looks like Canadian football or something. I played in it for 3 years. I know, it's crazy. Okay, here it is. Another good look. Field pressure. We get a bust by our running back here. He should be scanning for the secondary player here. But again, zone coverage, green grass, stay on the move. Good look. Okay, backer force. Remember, what's our split? Backer force, 6-yard split. Nice job. Get through. Our running back's incorrect. He should be exploding, bursting out. But this is why we should arc even better than this. See this corner? He's just caught in the wash, man. Man-to-man coverage. Can't get there. 2-man. Good look. Nice job playing catch out the back door. Good. Okay, 3-by-1 look here now. Okay, again, zone coverage. This is, again, imperative of why you go outside release. I want to make sure this corner turns his eyes, because this receiver on his drive route is reading the corner here. You guys see this? When he turns his back, he says, shoot, I can keep this sucker on the move. If I went inside here, now the corner could keep his eyes right there. I better hook up, because if I don't, I'm going to get my helmet knocked off. And now I got to call Mrs. Jones and apologize why her son's in Swedish hospital in downtown Seattle. Okay, so you got to trust your eyes. See it with zone. Nice job, quarterback. Believe the receiver. Good look. Okay, a little variation out of bunch. Again, this is a good look at zone, because I wanted to show the route runner hooking it up, and now these guys just go back to playing football like they did in the 3rd grade at the park. But a good look here by the receiver. Again, he's a little bit too quick, but he's making a real definitive decision for the quarterback. I'm hooking up. Here's my numbers. I'm hooking up. Okay, and then they start playing ball. But you got to read it. Okay, here's another one. It's zone. Again, zone pressure. Clear the defensive end out. Even though it's zone, the receiver sees green grass, he takes it. Little too much on the arc basic here, man. Sooner or later, you got to get in here. And we're running it with a little angle route on the backside. But there's a great look at it versus zone coverage, taking the green grass, making a big play. Okay, you can run it with double glances and whatnot. Here's another really cool look at it. Again, hooking up versus zone, hook up versus zone. Okay, here's another shot showing bunch, motion out of the bunch, and then here comes the box route to replace the 2-by-2 check down by the back. Okay, good little, again, man-to-man beaters. That's why we're running this thing. Nice job shooting him out the back door. We got a couple of those, then we'll get to the last concept here real quick and get out of here. Okay, here it is out of empty. Again, out the back door, there's your drive route. Okay, play catch, nice job. Here it is out of empty again. Boom. There's the box route. The drive's getting covered, basics covered. There's your check down right there with the X. Okay, one more time. Same thing, drive, basic. There's your check down right here. Play catch. Good look. That one's not great. Okay, and the last one here before we get out of here, so you guys just don't think we just dink and dunk the ball all the time. Okay, we throw it down the field every once in a while. Just a different philosophy. So those, in my opinion, those first 3 concepts were efficient concepts. Now we're into explosive concepts. We're going to try to throw the ball down the field, right? We're going to try to attack you. So we're just going to get into a couple flood routes or sail routes. And the difference in thinking, these are now long to short reads. So now we are 1 on this bus ticket, 2 on the corner, 3 on the flat. And we're a heavy run football team, okay? We're a 60% running the ball team. That's what we like to do because a run game's a quarterback's best friend, right? So in my opinion, if you're running the ball well, you're going to get 1 or 2 coverages, maybe a third. You're going to get 3 deep, you're going to get man-to-man, and you're going to get some cover 4, really 9-man front football, right, with the safeties involved in the run game. You're not getting nearly as much cloud coverage, okay, cover 2, things of that nature. So we've got to be ready to attack those coverages in our play-action pass game. One of the best ways we do it is off of sail routes or flood routes to take advantage of that. We can do it out of a true slot look here. We can get into stack looks like this and wide depart these guys and switch release them to get in behind them here to clear it. Okay? We can throw post routes over the top like a scissors look, which would be our flood, still with the back and the flat. But again, on all of these, nothing changes. This is a long to short read, whether it's with the post, that's a 1 to 2 to 3, or if it's just a regular go route, the go is still 1, the corner is still 2, okay? And on this look like right here, the bubble's the 3, depending on what our game plan for running the football is that week. One key coaching point before we look at the film, if you look at these drawings, you see this corner out right here, and you see the release of the Z. We teach this guy to take 1 to 2 steps to slightly inside release and then get vertical before you come out of this corner out. It'll help you, 1, on the flat defender you've been blocking all day, and here you step inside, and now I get into my route. 2, it gives you a little bit more room on the sideline because we're telling this quarterback to lay the ball on the sidelines. We're not trying to drill this ball. Put it on the boundary and let it go get it. The biggest concern against 3 deep bail teams, right, or cover 4 teams is this corner falling off this go route and making a play on the sidelines. You got to be willing to throw the go route, okay? And you got to see it, and when it's there, you throw the go route, and you got to throw enough of them to make them defend the play. If not, guys will keep falling off, and they'll intercept those balls and things of that nature, okay? So let's just peek at a couple of those, and then we'll get Coach Tressel up here. Okay, some cool looks here. Here's just out of a true slot look. Okay, play pass off the outside zone stretch. Okay, 3 deep, lay the ball on the boundary. Nice job. Good look. Nice little inside release like you're coming to block. Get your hands off you. Boom, nice job. Put it on the boundary. Okay, short motion out of a 3 wide set. Little stack look, wide depart. Put the ball on the boundary. A little late with the throw, not great in pass protection. Okay, potential here, if this corner's peeking, like he's showing, if he's peeking, we got to be ready to throw this deep ball, throw that go route right there, even off of the wide departure. Okay, which we were able to do, same game later on. Talk it through, corner's trying to see his feet just starting to settle right here. You got to take your shots, you got to be able to throw the ball down the field. You got to count on your receivers to make some plays for you on balls thrown 30 yards plus. It's not always going to be wide open. You're going to have some one-on-one matchups you got to win on. You got to give them their chances. Nice job. Okay, cross motion. Same play. Okay, flat defender. Nice job getting his depth, right? Real good job getting his depth. Play catch, throw the ball in the flat. I'd much rather have 2nd and 7, okay, than an interception, and they have the ball on our 20-yard line going in. Good look. Nice job. Okay, we can do this off of unbalanced sets, okay, bringing an extra lineman in or a tackle over look, okay, off of some different movement stuff to get him out of the pocket. Same concept, nice job here, getting the quarterback on the move, okay, getting him out of the pocket, put the ball on the boundary. Good little look at it here. Nice job. Not trying to recreate the wheel here, but just some different things. Shift to it, motion to it. Again, we're just trying to get 3 deep coverage to run this play. 3 deep, man covers, potentially cover 4. Here's another good look, man to man. They defend it pretty well. Okay, let's get the ball to the back in the flat, play catch. Nice job. Okay, again, slot look, motion to it, play pass. Not there, check it down, full back in the flat. Nice job. Nice first down play call for you. You're looking to throw it down the field. Not there. I'll take it. 2nd and 3. You can do it out of a pair look, okay, if you're expecting some heavy pressure. Okay, max protect this thing and use your tailback as you're back in the flat. Lay it on the boundary. Nice job. Again, I might be throwing a post for a touchdown, but hey, it's his prerogative. He's the guy that's got to do it. Big heart, a lot of courage, right? Okay. Again, same thing, 2 by 2, off the inside zone. Lay the ball on the boundary. We're a little late with it. That's kind of overdoing it with laying it on the boundary, but we're still getting there versus cover 4. Nice job there. You can do it off of a naked game if you're a big naked team, okay, and work this as the backside of the naked with a little slide route. Again, it's just an easy little concept. If you're a running football team, okay, and you get a lot of 3 deep coverage, this thing has a lot of answers for you. Nice job. Okay, one more here. Nice job checking the ball down, using your back in the flat. Never go broke, taking a profit. Okay, here it is off of with the bubble. Okay, same thing. Lay it on the boundary. Nice job. A lot of variations just to run the same play. You can use max protection with this stuff. Okay, you don't have to expose yourself. Okay, we don't like to get sacked. And you can throw the ball down the field. Here it is with the true bubble look. Again, you get these corners that try to peek. These corners try to peek. You got to be willing to throw go routes and give your guys a chance to make plays. Okay, and then again, same play here. Now they sink off. Your bubble just becomes that same flat route runner for you here, okay? Last shot here, just so you know, we've thrown it to all 3 of these guys. We just got to catch the ball when we get our opportunities right there. Okay, so hopefully we got something a little bit out of what we're trying to get done, of who we are philosophically from the quarterback position, but also schematically of ways we try to attack people. So I want to appreciate your guys' time. Thank you very much. And if you're ever in Seattle, don't be shy. We're always there. We're always open. Come see us. It's a beautiful place, spring and summer. Hopefully we see some other guys. We'll be back at Stanford this year, kind of middle of the year. And you guys, again, more than welcome. Come see us. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys. Good.